Hi everyone, welcome to day 22 of our Inktober 2024 Beginners Tangle Challenge. I'm Yehudit Steinberg. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and in this video series, we explore one beginner tangle a day for 31 days. Today, we'll be focusing on paradox, a high focus tangle. Though it seems complex at first glance, it's actually made up of simple straight line strokes that rhythmically and mesmerizingly create meta patterns within polygons, such as squares or triangles. Let's begin by gathering our supplies. Today, I will be using a Micron 01. I'm also going to have on standby here my Micron 02 that I like to use, especially for heavy-handed tanglers. It gives you the fine line, but it seems to have a little stronger nib. And I will also be using my Micron PN. Well, it'll be on standby anyway. I have a Statler 2B Mars Lumograph to use for our shading and when we do our preliminary uh, dots and borders and strings. And for my blending tool, I have a Tortillon, and it is a small size. Now I'll be drawing on a 2-inch bijou tile, and you can get them at zentangle.com. I've done the whole series in this tan color. As an alternative and a more economical alternative that you can get at your local art supply store or at Amazon, these Strathmore Artist Tiles, which is a 6x6, this is a Bristol Artist Tile Vellum. And it's a very nice paper. It has it has slight texture, but not too much. And you can see that when you put your 2-inch tile on a 6x6 sheet, you're able to get 9 or 10 of these out of one sheet of paper. So very economical. And if you happen to have a corner cutter, then you can get these curved corners. During this Inktober Beginner Tangle series, I show you the step outs that we move step by step. So you can grab a screenshot and keep it for your files later on, so you'll be able to duplicate these patterns in the future. So go ahead and get your screenshot as I tell you a little bit more about Paradox. It's a high focus tangle, and that means that you really have to pay attention one line at a time with Paradox. And it might just take you a little practice to get it and to understand how it works. I know it did for me. This tangle uses just straight lines to create intricate spirals and shapes inside polygons such as squares or triangles. The beauty of this tangle is that the simplicity of the strokes result in a complex layered pattern. Here's the step out guide for you. Feel free to get that screenshot. Now, in the Zentangle method, we start by getting centered, taking a couple of deep breaths, and and also appreciating. So let's start by taking a couple of deep breaths and inhale through your nose, hold it, and exhale through your mouth. I suggest 5 or 10 breaths. So as you continue to take your deep breaths, think of something that you're grateful for today. Let that feeling ground you as we prepare to draw. Stretch your hands and fingers, loosen them up, do a little finger yoga, and we'll begin our drawing for today. We'll begin by adding 4 dots in a corner. And then we're going to connect these dots. I turn my tile slowly. And now I have a little border. And inside that border, we will draw paradox. So there's a number of different ways to draw a paradox. I'm going to show you one way today. We're going to start up here at this dot, and we're going to follow this down in a straight line to about here. Now I'm going to turn my tile 90 degrees, and I will start here where I left off, and I will go to this to this side gradually, bringing it up. Turn my tile and repeat. It's okay that it wasn't super straight. Now we will continue. And this is basically how you do it. But you see, if you take your focus off of it, you could even lose your place. So here's what happens if you have to stop in between. Go part way and leave it so you know where to pick it up when you get back to it. But I suggest that you just keep going. Don't worry if you have a misstep. Just pick up and keep going. It's a real good idea to turn your tile, or you can easily get lost. That's why we call it a high focus tangle. and focus is what we want to be doing while we have our mindful drawing time. It is a meditation. It's a creative drawing meditation. And it helps with relaxation. It helps with focus. It helps with concentration, creativity. And you can see the pattern is starting to emerge. I suggest that after you have done this tutorial with me, that you do a search and look for a couple other certified Zentangle teachers who are demonstrating the paradox tangle, because there are different designs that you can create depending on how you um, do this. And there we have it. I hope I didn't go too much off of the page on the in that demonstration. So the next thing that I do want to do, and I'm going to grab my PN because it's a little bit thicker, and outline all right. Now, where do we shade? Okay, so let's take a look at how we're shading here. And this part here, I want to be on top. So since I do, I will take my graphite and go right underneath it. And as I bring that tortillon and bring this down, you can see how this comes forward. Now, this part here is going to recede a little bit there. And you can see that this comes forward. Over on this side, this is coming forward. And here is going to sit underneath. Now, you can play with this and play with which ones you want to stand out. But there's also something you can do. And I'm going to take my O1, and it is a bit tedious. And so I'm not going to do the whole thing, but I'm going to show you so that you can practice. So see how this is like really angular? Well, if you want it to be, give it a little bit of a curve to it, you can come in and you can curve these corners ever so slightly. And it starts to fan out a bit. So that is your basic paradox. Now let's initial and turn over and journal. I sign my name. I'm going to use pen. And I'm going to date it, which is 10/22/2024. And this was the Inktober Beginner 2024 Challenge. This paradox here was done with 4 squares. I made 4 squares and I did this pattern, repeating it 4 times. So you can play with that on another bijou tile if you want to go a step further. Finally, you want to share your completed tangle in the Facebook group. Look for today's tangle post and add a picture of your drawing along with any comments or questions that you have. I'd love to hear how your paradox turned out. Before we wrap up, just a quick reminder, it's not too late to join our Sunday Mandala Challenge. You'll receive all the information, the guidebook, the recorded Sunday Zoom sessions, and support to create your unique mandala. The registration link is in the comments below or description if you're watching on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that this time was relaxing and inspiring for you. I'll see you tomorrow for another mindful drawing session. Until then, remember, one stroke at a time. Bye for now.